Lindsay, meanwhile, ahead of that all-important Fed decision and statement, currency traders have been buying the euro and selling the U.S. dollar. John Ehrlichman has been watching that development closely. And John, this started yesterday.
Yeah, it's been more of a two-day trade, Scarlett, because we have seen euro dollar come off its best levels of the trading session. But what we can tell you is that some of the traders we've spoken to are still looking for an opportunity to move into euro against the dollar if it gets down to, say, the 139 level. Todd Gordon of Gain Capital is one example of that. I was speaking to him yesterday, and this has everything to do with this idea that the expectations for rate hikes over the next 12 months have become too rosy in the marketplace. We heard from the OECD this morning suggesting that potentially the Fed wouldn't need to raise rates until 2011. And so you've got this idea that if you've got a strong Fed statement suggesting there won't be any rate hikes in the next 12 months later today, that you could see more strength in the euro, more weakness in the dollar. And I also spoke to Michael Wolfolk of Bank of New York Mellon. He's of the same view because he thinks that steeper yield curve we've been looking at recently, less to do with inflation expectations and more to do with all this treasury supply that's been hitting the market.
Absolutely. Now, what happens after the Fed announcement at 2:15? Is this a buy on rumor, sell on fact kind of trade?
And this is the great reason why you have to stay with Bloomberg through the coverage today. Obviously depends on what we hear from the Fed, but Wolfolk's view is that if you do get a blatant statement clarifying the timeline in terms of how long rates can stay where they are, you could see more strength for the euro, weakness for the dollar. By the way, his year-end target for euro dollar, $1.48. So he sees more strengthening in part because of all that treasury supply. And that isn't the strongest outlook out there on the street as well.
What are you hearing?
We've heard some about $1.50 as well. And that's at the higher end, we should point out. But still, he's not the highest out there.
Okay, euro dollar currently above $1.40. John Ehrlichman following the euro dollar trade for us.